Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news and gossip that's going on in the press. Going to be updating you on some latest news and gossip that's currently going on in the press, so if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe as always to the channel. So discuss a few transfer rumours review today on this video, because we're nearly at an end now to the currently January transfer window. As we all know, I think it does shut on Thursday, does the transfer window, so it is not long now until it shuts, as I said. But yeah, we'll cut straight to the chase. This is regarding now Avril Morata Azores. So as it was coming out in the media yesterday, according to the Spanish press, Avril Morata is set to undergo his medical today to complete his 18-month loan move to Atletico Madrid. It did say that in the media yesterday that I was set to complete his 18-month loan move to Atletico Madrid because Chelsea have agreed this with Atletico Madrid. Well, it has been a bit of a delay, to be quite honest with you, of Morata going, to Atletico Madrid. It should have been done by now, realistically, but it has been a bit of a delay due to, the sacking of Henry from Monaco, and obviously Gelson Martins is due or has gone now to Monaco on loan, Gelson Martins. So they had to offload Gelson Martins or Klasnic, to make room for Avril Morata, to go to Atletico Madrid. I think Atletico Madrid do have the option to make the deal permanent. I think they do have the option to make the deal permanent, and they'd have to pay just under £50 million to make the deal permanent. But Atletico Madrid, I've got him for 18 months on loan reportedly. But it was obvious Avril Morata, did want to leave, as we all know. He did say he was willing to take a pay cut as well, and obviously there was a host of clubs that have been interested in Avril Morata. From his own perspective, he did say Morata that he's happy leaving Chelsea. This is what he said, but he did confirm last night he was in Spain last night, obviously to complete his loan move, and it did say he's due his medical today. I think he could be making his debut. I don't know when he'll be making his debut. Would it be next week sometime? I'm not too sure. But yeah, so essentially he's completed his loan move to Atletico Madrid as Morata. As I said, I think Atletico Madrid have paid around £9 million pound in loan fees, to get the current player as well. But they do have the option to make the deal permanent by paying just under £50 million for Morata. Because obviously now Chelsea have completed the signing of Gonzalo Higuain. Obviously Morata was obviously going to be going to Atletico Madrid, and it is his boyhood club, is Morata's. Do you think he'll fit in Diego Simeone's side? I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you, because he hasn't proven himself at Chelsea, and he's been very, very poor at Stamford Bridge as Avril Morata, since Chelsea got him in 2017, for what, 60 odd million pounds, was it, or something like that, and he signed a 5-year deal, and he's been very, very poor for Chelsea, so he hasn't really proven himself in the Premier League. Obviously, he hasn't been getting the chance, really. He hasn't been number one choice, Morata, because obviously he's been playing Hazard recently in the Premier League in that false number 9 position, as we all know, as Sarri, as we all know. Obviously, Sarri's still looking to win his first major honour as manager, as we all know, which he hasn't done yet, surprisingly. But yeah, Morata, as I said, he's going to Atletico Madrid on an 18-month loan. But he's failed to emulate the form, he's failed to emulate the form of what he's done in the past, because he was very, very good at Real Madrid, spent most of his senior playing career there. He had 2 fantastic years there with Juventus as well, did Morata. He's obviously, his boyhood club was Atletico Madrid as well. But he just failed to emulate, he hasn't done it at Chelsea. He just didn't do it at Chelsea. He was very, very poor for Chelsea. He cost them points, missing a lot of chances, as I said. Missed a lot of chances, cost them points, as I said. Chelsea want Champions League football, obviously, for next season. They're in the Europa League at the moment. Chelsea are going to get Champions League football for next season. That's without a shadow of a doubt, because I think they're going to get finishing the top 4 of Chelsea. There's quite a few teams going for it. Obviously, Chelsea now in the Carabao Cup final as well. So, Sarri could win his first trophy there, by winning the Carabao Cup against Manchester City. But yeah, it's confirmed that he's set to have his medical today. Is Morata, as it has confirmed. Chelsea have agreed an 18-month loan with Atletico Madrid, so he's going to be going to Atletico on loan for 18 months. Is Morata, but he's been very, very poor for Chelsea, as I said, and he hasn't lived up to expectation levels at Stamford Bridge. But also Giroud has been lacking goals at Chelsea as well. But obviously, as it has confirmed, obviously now Chelsea have confirmed the signing of Higuain. As we all couldn't know, he's set to actually make his senior debut. He's set to make his debut today for Chelsea. But honestly, I think he's a very, very good signing for Chelsea. He's Gonzalo Higuain. I think he'll score them goals. I think he'll lead the lines. We know he's 31 years of age, but he's a proven prolific goal scorer, as I said. Sarri knows him, he knows Sarri, and he's reuniting with Sarri. He's Gonzalo Higuain, and now obviously he's fulfilling that number 9 role as Gonzalo Higuain. This will now allow Eden Hazard to go back on the left-hand side, in his favourite position, Eden Hazard, because as I said, recently he's been playing as a false number 9 because Morata hadn't been playing in that because he's been struggling for consistency, as Alvaro Morata. But yeah, Gonzalo Higuain, I think he'll be very, very good at Chelsea, to quite honest. Yeah, Chelsea have obviously got him. They do have the option to extend the loan by a further 12 months if Gonzalo Higuain meets certain targets. Yeah, and potentially Chelsea would have to pay around 15-16 million pounds, to develop the loan in further 12 months. I think something like that. But they do have the option to make the deal permanent for around 30 odd million pounds at Chelsea. I think his weekly wages are around £270,000 a week, or something like that. I know he didn't do so well at AC Milan, but everywhere else he's been fantastic. He had 6 good years with Real Madrid. He had 3 fantastic years with Napoli as well. Scored 36 goals in one season, broke the Serie A record. Had 2 fantastic years with Juventus. Scored 40 goals in 2 seasons with Juventus as well. Very, very good at Juventus. But he didn't prove himself at AC Milan, as I currently said. But from Sarri's perspective, he'll hope to rejuvenate his form and bring him and Sarri wants him to bring him goals, and that's what Chelsea have been lacking this season. They have been lacking goals of Chelsea this season, as we all know. But I think they've addressed that problem, with the signing of Gonzalo Higuain, and I think he will flourish at Stamford Bridge, as I currently said. And I think Chelsea have had a good January window. Obviously, I really do think they've actually had a good January window. They've got Pulisic, who's going to be coming, who's going to play for them next season, as we all know. And I think he'll fit in Chelsea's team very, very well. But obviously, Pulisic is very, very young in his prime, 20 years of age. Do you think he'll grow and develop under Sarri? As I said, Christian Pulisic, because he's proven himself very, very well in Germany, with Borussia Dortmund. He's been in the senior squad since 2016, progressing up the ranks fantastically well. Chelsea agreed a £58 million deal with him, obviously, a lot earlier on in the £58 million fee with Borussia Dortmund, a lot earlier on in the window. But obviously, he can play as a winner. I think you can play him as centrally as well. So Chelsea will have to figure that out, when he arrives next season, Christian Pulisic. But Eden Hazard, obviously, he could still leave Chelsea in the summer as well, because obviously he admitted from his own perspective, Eden Hazard, last summer, that he could leave Chelsea. Well, he said he wanted to leave Chelsea after the World Cup last summer. As I said last year, he said he wanted to leave Chelsea, Eden Hazard. And Eden Hazard, Chelsea know how much of a central player he is to them. He's scored over 100 odd goals with Chelsea. For me, he's the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. He's Eden Hazard, but he's still a very, very good player. And Chelsea know how much of a central player he is, as I said. But reportedly, we know that Real Madrid have been linked to him. He hasn't ruled himself out of making a move to Real Madrid in the summer. His current deal ends in 2020 at Stamford Bridge. I think some Chelsea fans have been convinced that Eden Hazard's going to leave the club because he admitted before that he loved Real Madrid, as we all know. Real Madrid have bought about 23 Premier League players, since 2000 or something like that. Eden Hazard's been in the Premier League since 2012, so he's well Premier League proven. Obviously he's won everything in English football as Eden Hazard. I think he's won everything in English football. Apart from the Community Shield, I think he's won everything in English football as Eden Hazard. I think he's made of 200 odd appearances in the Premier League for Chelsea. Chelsea know how much of a good player, but some Chelsea fans are convinced he may leave, as I said, because he admitted during the course of last summer that he could leave. Chelsea have been in contract talks of trying to secure him a new deal, hasn't materialised as yet, so he could leave as well. But we know one man that is going to be leaving, and it's just come out in the media that reportedly he has put in a transfer request as Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's basically put in a transfer request. He's basically made it clear, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he does want to make the move to Bayern Munich. That is his preferred destination, as we all know. And Bayern Munich in the race are obviously emerged as the front runners, to get Callum Hudson-Odoi. From Chelsea's perspective, they still want to keep Callum Hudson-Odoi. They try to convince him to stay, and they try to, they've offered him a new contract. Reportedly, Callum Hudson-Odoi has refused. Callum Hudson-Odoi has refused this new contract, so he's reluctant He's reluctant to sign a new contract. Is Callum Hudson-Odoi, but reportedly it did say in the media yesterday that I heard about that Bayern Munich were preparing to put a new bid in for him. I think at the moment Bayern Munich have put 4 bids in. The recent bid was actually around £35 million, but I think Bayern Munich, this new bid, they're willing to offer Chelsea £40 million. So that should be enough to convince Chelsea, to sanction him off. It did come out in the media saying that RB Leipzig were interested in him as well. RB Leipzig reportedly put around the £20 million offer in for him, plus offered him a buyback clause in that deal as well. But that's unlikely he's going to be going to RB Leipzig, and it looks more likely he's going to Bayern Munich. It did reportedly say Bayern Munich offered him the number 10 shirt to full that number 10 shirt to full at Bayern Munich, because obviously Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players in their squad, because obviously Arjen Robben's set to leave in the summer. As I said, Arjen Robben's set to leave in the summer. Ribery is aging up as well. Lewandowski, that's aging up. So Bayern Munich have got quite a few aging up players. So they have been interested in a few young players of Bayern Munich, as we all currently know. Callum Hudson-Odoi has had a really, really difficult time, for Chelsea. He's only 18 years of age. He's had a regular game time this season. He's been in and out of the team. He's hardly played this season. I think he's only played 61 minutes of football in the Premier League as of this season, Callum Hudson-Odoi. So he's frustrated with the lack of game time, is Callum Hudson-Odoi. But if he goes elsewhere, he'll probably be guaranteed first team football week in, week out if he goes to Bayern Munich. But obviously he's not getting it at Stamford Bridge, and this is the reason why Callum Hudson-Odoi wants to leave. He's made it clear to Chelsea he wants to leave. He's been a Chelsea player since the age of 8 as Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he's struggling for first team football, and this is why he's put this transfer request in, and he wants to make the move to Bayern Munich, as we all currently know. Did say Liverpool showed a slight interest. Liverpool had approached his representatives. He said they were interested in him, but as I currently said, it's looking likely he's going to be going to Bayern Munich. Callum Hudson-Odoi wants to obviously make the move to Bayern Munich before Thursday, because obviously that's when the January transfer window ends, as we all know. So Chelsea could be losing Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I currently said. But as I did say, Chelsea could see some of their players leave. As I did say, David Luiz's contract term is up in the summer as well. The Gary Cahill could be leaving. I think potentially Chelsea, still need a left back, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, they want to find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas before the January window ends. May not happen now, as I said, because obviously they want a backup for Jorginho as well. But obviously Chelsea's main priority target was Leandro Paredes, but obviously Chelsea have lost out to Leandro Paredes on Paris Saint-Germain. I think Paris Saint-Germain have got him now. Paris Saint-Germain agreed a £35 million deal. Paris Saint-Germain agreed a £35 million deal with Zenit St. Petersburg for Leandro Paredes, 24 years of age, as we all know. Zenit got him from Roma for £24 million. Was at Boca Juniors, when he was a lot younger in his prime. Well, he actually began his youth career with Boca Juniors, did Leandro Paredes. But it was looking likely Chelsea were going to get him. It said Chelsea were in talks with Zenit St. Petersburg. Chelsea had agreed a fee, had agreed a contract and agreed personal terms for the player. But as I said, a fee hadn't been agreed. Zenit at one point were demanding £36 million for the player. As well, they were demanding £36 million. Chelsea in the process had 2 bids turned down. 24 years of age, as I said, and that was Sarri's number priority target, to replace Cesc Fabregas. But as I said, so basically Zenit, PSG came in. They held negotiations with Zenit. Come to an agreement with Zenit St. Petersburg. As I said, on around the £36 million deal. He's going to be signing a 4.5-year deal with PSG. So potentially Chelsea have missed out on Leandro Paredes. So he did say the other week they'd agreed a deal in principle, for both Leandro Paredes and Nicola Barella, as well as actually my club, Manchester United, have been linked with Nicola Barella. Nicola Barella is a very, very good player. I do really, really like him. It did say Chelsea had agreed a deal in principle for him as well the other week, Nicola Barella. Only 21, as I said, Italian, Cagliari midfielder, got a contract till 2022, reportedly rated at around 45 million or something like that. Reportedly it come out in the Mirror, well, whatever media outlet was yesterday, saying Man United were preparing to put in around the £50 million bid for the Cagliari midfielder. But his versatility is very, very good, and this Nicola Barella has got good physical attributes. As I said, he can operate as a defensive mid, an attacking mid, a central mid. He can play as a right-sided midfielder, where his favourite position is as well. So he's got a lot of good physical attributes, and his versatility would, be good, for him to come to Manchester United, because one of the key positions we do need to strengthen up is a central defensive midfield position, and he can actually operate as a defensive mid, can Nicola Barella, as we all know. But Chelsea have also targeted him as a potential replacement for Cesc Fabregas as well. But yeah, so potentially that's mainly Chelsea's transfer news to update you with. So yeah, Morata as Chelsea have agreed an 18-month loan with Atletico Madrid, and Morata's going to be going on loan to Atletico Madrid for 18 months, as that is currently confirmed. Bit of Arsenal's transfer news now to update you with. Potentially, as I was updating you, I'll keeping you up to date, with a bit of Arsenal's transfer news yesterday as well. Because obviously, for Arsenal, no, obviously they've got a lot of problems in their team. Obviously they've got financial restrictions. They can only make loan signings in this January window. Obviously, Zoom has confirmed they can only make loan signings in this January window because obviously. Arsenal, they need to invest into their team. And it's not Emery's fault, obviously, because Emery, it's only his first season. He's come in the club. He's inheriting an average squad, and obviously he's coming. The club, we've got a bad financial situation. Obviously, they are limited to transfer funds, as I currently said, and they haven't been getting the right amount of money, to spend on currently players they want, and this is why they haven't been up there, competing. And obviously, they've got an owner that doesn't invest any money, into the club as well. So obviously Arsenal, want him out as well. They have got injury problems, as we all know. They've lost Socrates, they've lost Koscielny as well. They've got Hector Bellerin through a long-term absence out. He's out, long term. Danny Welbeck's out long term. Rob Holding's also out long term as well. But I think Memre's keen on getting a winger in, and I think he wants a versatile midfielder in as well. Does Memre? But obviously he wants to secure one or two loan signings, before this January transfer window ends, as we all currently know. Because obviously Arsenal have still got Ozil's future that's uncertain. Now his future's still uncertain. He's on £350,000 a week. Obviously, and they've got average players on big contracts as well of Arsenal, as we all know. But as I did say, they do need to get maybe a couple of loans in, before the January window ends. And it's only Memre's for season. So Arsenal, it's obviously a transition season for Arsenal. And obviously, the only thing they can win this season is the Europa League, obviously. I don't think they'll get top four. They are still in the mix, but I don't think they'll get top four, I'm too quite honest with you. As I currently said, but their structure's not like the likes of Manchester United's or Liverpool's, who've invested in the last couple of seasons, or Chelsea's, or or Man City's. Their structure is totally different. Is Arsenal's, because they've got an owner that doesn't invest into their club. As I said. But reports are coming out from the media that I've been reading up, as I actually updated you yesterday. Reportedly, Arsenal are holding talks with Inter Milan regarding a loan move for Ivan Perisic. Reportedly, Ivan Perisic, the reports coming out earlier this week that reportedly my club, Manchester United, had reportedly revived their interest in Ivan Perisic. Reportedly, because we've been linked with Ivan Perisic for the last couple of years now. We all currently know. Obviously, when we had Mourinho, he was strongly linked with getting Ivan Perisic last summer, as we all know. Inter Milan were demanding in the region that they wanted around £48 million. We were reluctant to pay up to £48 million for Ivan Perisic, as we all currently know. We weren't willing to pay the £48 million for Ivan Perisic, so we didn't get the player. He had a good World Cup, last summer, for Croatia. Obviously, he got to the final with them, as I said, Ivan Perisic, but his form hasn't been, his form hasn't been that good this season. He's been in Milan a number of years now, and he's failed to replicate the form what he's done in recent seasons at Inter Milan. So potentially he hasn't been that good. He hasn't been that good this season. So based on his poor performances this season, Inter Milan now were reportedly open to selling the player. He did say Man United were in talks with him. Man United were in talks with Inter Milan. Atletico Madrid were in talks with Inter Milan as well, as it did confirm for Ivan Perisic. But Arsenal have reportedly showed their interest in the player. Arsenal obviously keen on getting him on loan, and it did say Arsenal could make the deal permanent, in the summer by paying around £36 million to Inter Milan, because I think that's the estimated price what Inter Milan do want for the player. I think they want around £36 million for Perisic, as I said. But Arsenal have been in negotiations about this, but do you think he'd fit Arsenal's team very, very well? Because we don't need Perisic now anywhere. Obviously, we don't need him because, we've got Martial on the brink of signing a new contract. We don't need Ivan Perisic. And obviously, we ended our interest, obviously, when Jose Mourinho left the club. That's when we ended his interest in Perisic, as we all know. But he's a versatile player. He's got good physical attributes. He's 29. He's highly experienced. He can put crosses into the box. He's got a contract with Inter Milan till 2022. Don't forget. But Arsenal have inquired about getting him on loan with the option to buy permanent for around 36 million pounds. And he has been discussing, Ivan Perisic, about coming to play in the Premier League before. But he can play as a winger. That's his main position. He can actually play as an attacking mid as well. He actually can play as a second striker. So potentially, Arsenal could probably see him as a good replacement for Ramsey or Mesut Ozil, Ivan Perisic. But yeah, Arsenal have been in negotiations about that as well. Because obviously Arsenal know that obviously Aaron Ramsey is going to be leaving, and obviously they do want a replacement for him. Aaron Ramsey will leave in the summer, obviously, when his contract expires with Arsenal. He'll leave in the summer. He's going to Juventus on a free transfer. He's going to be Juventus' second highest paid player, as we all know, is Aaron Ramsey. But Arsenal have credited him, for he's been a good servant over the years for Arsenal, of what he's developed and what he's done. They give him a good standing ovation. He's been at Arsenal, for 10 years is it so now? Aaron Ramsey, and he's grown and developed fantastically well. But obviously, I think he's going in the summer to Juventus when his contract expires, and I think he's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. Is Aaron Ramsey, and to quite fair because he has signed a pre-contract agreement deal to join Juventus, as we all clearly know, because obviously, that was it. What that was his preferred destination was. Juventus, as I said. So Arsenal have had a few other targets, they've been interesting, as we all currently know. Obviously, one of the main priority targets, obviously, was Barcelona's Denis Suarez, as we all know. But obviously now that looks like it's in jeopardy, obviously, because it confirmed the other day that I saw that the talks had broken down between Arsenal and Barcelona. Talks had officially broken down between Arsenal and Barcelona, as it did confirm, because Arsenal were refusing to commit to a permanent deal. Reportedly, they were refusing to commit to a future permanent deal, and Barcelona, I think from Barcelona's perspective, they wanted Arsenal to commit to a permanent deal at the end of the loan. I think Arsenal agreed to buy him on loan, buy him on for around £2 million or something like that. And then Arsenal would, have the option to make the deal permanent in the summer. But Arsenal were refusing to, commit to a permanent deal, reportedly. And this is why reportedly talks had broken down. And it did actually say the Barcelona president had actually promised Denis Suarez a move to the Emirates this month. Umeme was keen on reuniting. With Denis Suarez. And Denis Suarez wanted to make the move to the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, looks unlikely now. Barcelona completed the signing of Kevin Prince-Boateng, as we all know. So you thought basically Barcelona would have softened the stance, Barcelona have got quite a few midfielders. I think they need to offload a couple. They've got quite a few midfielders, they've got Kevin Prince-Boateng. Then they got, Frankie de Jong for Ajax as well. And Denis Suarez can't even get into the Barcelona squad. He can't even get into the team. He's hardly played this season as Denis Suarez, as we all know. And we know he's been basically, Arsenal's number one. Barcelona did say they wanted to offer him a contract extension before he actually made the move to Arsenal on loan. And he's actually refused this contract extension as Denis Suarez. He's refused his contract extension. But it's been the narrative about this. It has been looking likely. It has been looking like that he's going to be joining Arsenal, Denis Suarez, but now obviously it looks unlikely. So the deal is in jeopardy, and it's looking likely he's going to be staying in Barcelona. But Arsenal have been in heavy negotiations. They've been in negotiations with his representatives over, and actually Denis Suarez, from his own perspective, did want to make the move to the Emirates Stadium, as I said. But now it looks like he's in jeopardy. And he's 25. He's versatile. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He can play centrally. So he's a very, very good player. Is Denis Suarez, as I said, but Arsenal obviously now, Arsenal's deal looks in jeopardy, for Denis Suarez. There's been talks as well, that now, they've got an alternative of Arsenal. Reportedly, they have been interested in that youngster, Christopher Nkunku, PSG player, 21 years of age, very, very young in his prime. Reportedly, he's keen on reuniting with Umeme. Reportedly, he did actually say in the media the other day, according, to the press. The press had reported that Thomas Tuchel, who's currently the PSG boss, he agreed to let Christopher Nkunku, go on loan to Arsenal. I think it was an initially 6-month loan, and then Arsenal do have the option to make the deal permanent in the summer by paying around £17 million for Christopher Nkunku. That's an alternative, obviously for Denis Suarez. But obviously, as Denis Suarez looks unlikely, Arsenal have turned their intentions now to Christopher Nkunku. PSG player, hasn't really been a regular this season under Thomas Tuchel. But obviously, when he's worked, he's played under Unai Emery before as Christopher Nkunku, and Christopher Nkunku, actually, was a regular. I can't even pronounce his name to be quite honest with you. Christopher Nkunku. But reportedly before, PSG want reinvestments in their midfield. Before they want reinforcements in their midfield before they do sanction Christopher Nkunku offer reportedly. But Arsenal have made inquiries about that. According to France Football, that Arsenal have been in talks with PSG. They've been in heavy negotiations with Paris Saint-Germain of getting the player on the board. So yeah, I think from the own player's perspective, he is keen on making the move to the Emirates Stadium. Is Christopher Nkunku. But yeah, they've been interested in quite a few players, as we all know. I think Arsenal still need a defender, definitely because defensively they are very, very poor. So potentially, Arsenal do need a defender, as I said. And Ozil could still leave the club. His future's still uncertain. It did reportedly say that Inter Milan were the only team that I've heard that have been interested in him as well. But currently the wages he receives, which is around £300,000 a week, that could be a problem of teams getting the pursuit of Mesut Ozil, as we all know. And he struggled this season, had a couple of injury problems, failed to himself under Remy, and he has missed a lot of key games this season, as we all know, of course, as Mesut Ozil. So potentially, Arsenal, when the summer comes, they do need to reinvest. As I said, they need, investment needs to be made into the club. As I said, for them to have any chance of competing at all, they do need signings to Arsenal. As I said, but yeah. So that's really the latest news to update you with, as I said. But yeah, the big breaking news about this video is that Avril Morata has agreed to join Athletico Madrid on an 18-month loan move. He was in Madrid last night, set to complete his medical today. Is Avril Morata. So Diego Simeone will have to plan, where he'll fit in Athletico Madrid's team. Avril Morata, as I said, I think he said he was willing to take a pay cut. As I said, has been a bit of a delay, to be quite honest with you. But I think it's fully finalised now. I think he's set to have his medical today sometime. I think it's going to be finalised. Is it tomorrow? Fully finalised tomorrow. But I think he's set to have his medical today, as I said. So anyway, drop your comments below on the channel. That was some transfer rumors to update you with. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very